All right, everyone, welcome. I actually want to do something very, very interesting. I'm testing out a new recording stuff, and I'm actually utilizing my iPhone like I probably should have from the beginning instead of utilizing a camcorder or a, what do you call those things? One of the Logitech things. So today we're actually going to be reviewing, going over my deck profile for Kirishima 2. And sorry about all the noise, my kitten's going crazy. About a couple months back I had gotten one, and she's ever so slowly growing. So if you hear her in the background, sorry about that. So basically Kirishima is practically Mana Crypt. For those of you that are Magic players. For those of you that are not Magic players, Kirishima actually allows us every turn to build up to 2 foundations, not 2 foundations specifically, but up to, and give our attacks additional damage, as well as being able to cycle our hand, which is absolutely amazing. But we can also sit there, if we're not physically blocking an attack using cards, we can actually suspend him to reduce the damage to half damage, but the damage is, instead of regularly where it would be rounded up, we're rounded down. So one thing to keep in mind, though, that this character is able to utilize a lot of things in its kit to go and do a ton. So without further ado, we will go right into the main board, go right into the foundations. We are playing a very, very thick deck, just so you guys know. It's not like it's small or anything, due to the simple fact of, like, we do play a lot of cards. So, well, we technically draw a lot of cards. So we're starting off with 4 copies of Internship with Best Genus. It has, it's 0 cost, obviously, but it has a response: discard the top card of your deck. After you play this card, your rival flips 1 foundation. Forcing your opponent to flip a face-up foundation of theirs can be beneficial to you, and force your opponent to play a late game instead of an early game rush, depending upon the situation. Moving forward, we're playing 4 copies of Battle Resolved. We could go and change it for the Endeavor Foundation, but personally, I love this foundation a lot. It's being able to commit and flip it to gain a health if we lose a health, I feel, is a little bit more beneficial. And it's still really, really good. And then we're playing 3 copies of It Can't Be Fixed. So for those of you that weren't around in set 1, when stun was a huge thing, being able to sit there and just be like, okay, cool, you want to force me to commit anything via stun, I'm going to commit this, flip it, and build the top card of my deck face down. So definitely a great card, especially since we're going to be moving into a format where stun is a little bit more relevant. It's technically at pseudo stun or whatever, I guess is the best way to put it, which is freeze, or, technically it's after, so it wouldn't be pseudo, but you guys get the reference. We have to deal with freeze this format. So if a foundation is committed and everything via that or whatever, we wouldn't commit It Can't Be Fixed, but instead we would leave It Can't Be Fixed unflipped, so that way we can go and sit there and utilize it. Moving forward, we're playing 4 copies of Manly Passionate Guy. It just states flip after you block with the foundation, build it face up. Absolutely amazing in this deck. Most of the time we do block with our foundation, so being able to force it where we are able to build and expand during our opponent's turn is absolutely amazing. We're playing 4 copies of Male Bonding. This card actually just got released in set 3. It's a common, and it works very, very good with Kirishima 2, because all it does is that you flip it after you take damage from an unblocked attack. You build the top card of your deck face down. So you just reduce the damage of an unblocked attack to half, rounded down, and then you proceed to build off of it, which is still good. And to finish off our ones, we're playing 3 copies of Manly Friendship, which just states once per turn, this attack gets +1 and -1 damage, which is absolutely amazing. Moving forward, we're still on foundations, just so you guys know. We're playing 4 copies of Homage to My Hero. Response: commit after you dealt damage by an unblocked attack. You draw a card. Absolutely great. And then enhance: if you have build foundation this combat phase, which you build a foundation off of the 1 card from your hand that's being put into play, off of the Kirishima enhance, you get to draw one card. So, or not draw. Your Fury or Punch gets +1 damage. So, absolutely great card. Next, we are playing 4 copies of New Training Method. So, a lot of people are playing 2 of. I want to see this basically like as soon as possible. If you're going second and your opponent builds 4 and you're just like, okay, get ready, get set, go, into 2 of these, you drop almost your entire hand turn 1, and you have 4 foundations right there and then. So obviously it's definitely a great thing, as well as when you go and flip over for like a block or whatever, you can utilize this to commit and flip it to go and add a card that you, after you check a foundation, you can go and rest, commit, flip, and add foundation to hand. So it's absolutely amazing. And then we are playing 4 copies of Valiant Pose. It just says enhance commit, your punch, kick, or slam attack gets +2 damage. If there are 3 or more attacks in your card pool, it gets an additional +2 damage, which is absolutely amazing. And enhance flip, your next throw attack gets -1 difficulty. We're actually not playing any throws in this deck, so being able to sit there and be like, okay, cool. Sorry, guys, I gotta go pay attention to her. She's messing with stuff. So being able to sit there and just still give our kick, punch, or slam attack +2 or +3 damage is absolutely amazing. Because most of the time we're going to be stringing our attacks all together in a singular turn, dealing it upwards of about 20 damage. So anything that's 20 or less will most of the time die to us just swinging out with most of our attacks. And we can actually go and cyclist, so that way we're drawing roughly around 6 cards in a single attack phase, which is absolutely amazing. And defensive wise, we're playing 2 copies of Face Shield. Face Shield is actually really, really good. It actually saved me a couple times today because my buddy had come over and we were playing, and it saved me twice from losing a game. So I can't whine and complain. So next, moving forward, we're going to go actually into our attacks before our actions, because our attacks, I feel, are definitely probably the right ratio or right call for what it is. So first off, we're playing 4 copies of Brutish Schwager. So it's a Fury Taunt, absolutely great. And it has Enhance. If this is the only card in your card pool, draw 1 card. Most of the time you're going to start off your turn by doing this. So still perfectly fine. But the catch is that Stormy, are you done? Are you done, sweetheart? Okay, sorry about that. So the catch is because Kirishima nets us 2 cards a turn, we can draw 1 off of this and then utilize Kirishima's Enhance to go and to make it so that way we can utilize a secondary Enhance to gain stun 2. Now, as I said before, we're going into a format where basically we have stun almost all the time on almost anything and everything. And obviously having it on a big 4/6 is amazing. We're playing 4 copies of Back Alley Haymaker. It's almost the same exact thing as Brutish Schwager, except it has inheritably stun 2, but it also has EX2, and it has Enhanced, draw 1 card or build 1 foundation with a printed difficulty of 0 from your discarded pile. So obviously being able to build is still going to be great, and it's still going to be one of the best things ever. We're playing 4 copies of Harden Chop. Obviously Breaker 1 is still relevant nowadays, but we're also utilizing it because we can destroy a face down foundation and build the top card of our deck face down. So let's say this is our second card for the turn. It has a difficulty of 7 at that point in time. We reveal a 5. We have to go and rest 2, okay? So what you do is you utilize this Enhance, you pop a face down foundation, build the top card of your deck face down, and then you proceed to use this one, pop another face down, take a card from your hand, put it into the staging area, and then proceed to draw a card and give this thing +2 damage. So, in turn, you basically just played a 5-drop card for 5 instead of 7, which is really, really good. So, same thing with Hardened Chop or Hardened Jab. Literally same exact thing. The only difference is that this is a 4-drop instead of a 5-drop. And this adds a face down foundation from our pile or our staging area to our hand instead of destroying it. So we can still sit there. Let's say it's the 3rd attack of that turn. It will be a 7 diff. We check a 5, suspend 2. We bounce 1 to our hand, use Kirishima enhance, proceed to pop a face down foundation that's rested, build the card from our hand, and draw a card and give it +2 damage, making it a 3 mid for 7, which still is absolutely amazing. And for our last attack, we're actually playing 4 copies of Spinning Kick. So most of our attacks are actually mids. So this actually is very, very good because all we do is we, most of the time, we'll go and start our turn by playing this, or either the Bruges Swagger or the Haymaker. And we'll just sit there and be like, okay, cool. If we go this route, we're dropping this. We're doing the enhance if your next attack is a mid or a low. If it's a mid, you draw a card. If it's a low, you unflip a committed foundation. And then obviously it has EX2. But we can also utilize Kirishima's enhance to go make it a 4 high for 6 damage, making it absolutely amazing. So with that all in mind, moving forward, we're playing 2 different action cards. We're playing 2 copies of Get Ready, Get Set, Go. And we're playing 2 copies of Sugar Rush Power Up. So a lot of people are like mixed about this in their stuff, but at the end of the day, I feel a 2-2 split is probably the best. This came up like once or twice where I was a damage short, and I'm just like, okay, we'll do this. We'll add +2 speed and +4 damage, and that just solved my problem right away. And then this came up where I was down a foundation, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll remove this draw card. And I was like, okay, I drew into a new training method, and I was able to just build everything on my hand turn 1, which was absolutely amazing. We didn't even have to wait for our opponent's turn. So I still believe this card is absolutely insane. I will probably be bumping this card into the sideboard, at least 1 more copy, because I think playing 2 to 3 of this is amazing. And even playing 2 to 3 of the Sugar Rush Power Up is still great. Obviously, my sideboard and this whole entire deck is to my preference. It doesn't mean that it has a competitive aspect to it or a competitive jive to it. It's my way of playing it. And I enjoy stringing attacks together. Being able to string roughly around 4 to 5 attacks in one go is great, and that's what this deck does amazingly. This deck has no problem with sitting there stringing together 4, 5, 6. I believe the one game I went to 7 attacks in one go, and it was able to go off and was able to continue going off all the way through. So I will show you guys the sideboard. The sideboard's a little bit of a work in progress. Obviously, this deck is really, really fun to play, but I don't know about the competitive aspect of this deck. So I do know that within set 2, season 2 or whatever it was called, their regionals and everything were just basically ruled by Kirishima too. You had him doing so much stuff. So, but moving to our sideboard, we're playing a Sato. The original idea of the deck actually came for playing Sato as the main character, but after looking at the pluses to both characters, I realized Kirishima would just be way too good to skip over. So, and then we're playing 4 copies of Talented Baker. Your attack gets +1 speed, only playable if we have drawn 1 or more cards this combat phase. Obviously, being able to give our attacks +1 speed, sometimes we'll make them really, really, really fast. Hard chop it, if we give them +1 is 4 speed. If we give it +4, it's 7 speed. This is a 8 speed low at that point in time. This is a 4 speed mid, 8 speed high, and then I believe 4 speed mid or 8 speed mid. So obviously, there is applications here with this card specifically, and it's able to do its job. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Chivalrous Competitor. You just enhance flip, both players draw a card, and before one of your foundations would be destroyed or flipped due to a rival's non-character effect, flip this foundation head instead. So this comes up with the Nomu deck, and then there's a couple other decks that this comes up against. I forget what they are. I'm so tired from work. I'm tossing this video together so I can get it done and I have something for you guys. But this comes up where this helps out in the long run against certain decks where they're all about destroying your foundations or controlling your foundations, especially since what was it? We have freeze now because so some of them state you have to suspend and then freeze. Because it says suspend, you can actually go and sit there and utilize this to flip this, just to go and sit there and make it so that way it doesn't happen. Or no, whenever it be destroyed. So never mind, that doesn't apply that way. My bad. That's my bad right there. But still, if it be destroyed or flipped, so stun. My bad, you guys. Stun doesn't apply really with this card, so you just flip it and then go off. We're playing 1 Trace Chick Cape. Obviously, first enhance, commit, unflip 1, commit foundation, and then deadlock form, remove, add up to 2 range attacks from your card pool to your hand. Obviously, we're playing 0 range cards. I'm almost positive we're playing 0. Yeah, kick, punch, 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 taunt, and fury. Yeah, so we're playing 0 range attacks, so the deadlock form doesn't matter at all, but it's still something. We're playing the 3rd copy of Sugar Rush Power Up in here, and that's obviously like it's playing the main board for a reason. The last copy's in the sideboard. And we're playing 1 Creeping Vine Eruption. This, in all honesty, will probably be swapped out for Get Ready, Get Set, Go, or Ready, Get Set, Go, due to the simple applications that card has with this deck. So I hope you all enjoyed the deck profile. Obviously, this is something I tossed together very, very quickly. I only got about 2 hours of testing today, but I played against 3 different decks, and I dropped 1 game, I believe, against Midoriya, just due to the fact of I didn't draw an attack. But being able to chain attacks against both the other 2 decks, for I believe it was up to like 5 different attacks. I think it was almost 30 some odd damage that I dealt. Yeah, this deck's insane. It's able to go off and it's able to do everything I want it to do. But don't take my word for it, you guys. Go out there, build your Kirishima deck, and actually go and see how much you enjoy this character. I thought I would hate it at first, but after I tossed him together and I was able to mess around with him for about 20 minutes or so, I really, really started enjoying the deck. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And just so you all know, I forgot to go mention this at all. The winner of the giveaway for the Force of Will stuff did not ever get back to me. So we will be redoing the raffle for that probably within the next couple weeks. I gotta go and see what it is that's coming out and maybe change up what we're raffling. But I will let you guys know about that at a later time. With that, have a great day, enjoy this game, and hopefully we'll be able to build this community together.